Jim, we got to talk about another deal. It's like Deal Monday today, and Bank of America is getting out of the international card business.
Right.
They're selling their Canadian business, $8.6 billion. Does this feel that
you know, it was not
that
core.
they're not desperate? I mean, it feels desperate to me. It feels like they just keep selling and selling and selling.
Yeah, I know it's not core. I feel very strongly that what the problems here have to do with the mortgage market and their inability to be able to really get their arms around it because of Countrywide. Anything that can raise capital is a good thing for them, but I really want to point out that the gods will not be appeased until they do equity, and they said they're not going to raise equity over and over again. They've made a series of missteps that have really, really hurt them. Anything that does raise capital is a terrific thing, but Deborah, their credibility is deeply on the line here, and credit cards are one of the strongest businesses. Capital One reported terrific delinquency numbers today. So, you know, are they selling the good to fund the bad? A lot of chatter I'm hearing about they need to do something radical with Countrywide, because Countrywide was obviously just a terrible toxin, a love canal for this company, maybe too much for the company. The company seems to have been overwhelmed by these problems and underestimated the problems repeatedly. I know now, I think what they're trying to say that maybe this Bank of New York litigation can actually help them, says that the servicer might be on the hook for more than just Bank of America. But you know, I keep coming back to the fact that until they are able to say, listen, our maximum exposure is 70 billion or 50 billion, if we lose everything, I mean, and then we work backwards, that's how you get a bottom. And everything else seems to be just like a hope.
Well, when you mentioned Capital One Finance, also on their call last week, Bank of America said their credit card numbers were up year over year and the delinquencies are down. So like you said, this is a good part of the business. Who wants to get out of credit cards when it's getting better?
Deborah, I couldn't agree more.
It's just a little unnerving
when
to me.
When I used to trade for a living, we used to talk about funding the bad with the good. Sell off your good trades and then fund your bad trades, and you won't be in business very long. It's a terrible strategy. Now, as I said, Bank of America wants to refute the notion that they have to raise capital. They can do this, they can sell off some China, they can do anything that's not core. In the end, I think that management's credibility is going to remain an issue until they get their arms around mortgages.
Isn't it better to just have a fire sale with Countrywide and just
no one would buy
dump it out?
No one.
No one?
No one.
Even like bargain?
No, because they would not. The liabilities would come with it. I mean, you really have to just cordon this thing off. They have to find.
Got to stay away from the stock, right?
I own the stock for ActionAlertsPlus.com, and I have tremendous regret about that. Tremendous.
All right, thanks.